A heavenly meeting just concluded about you, and Archangel Michael was in attendance. Here's what was decreed in your favor. My beloved child, something unimaginable has just happened beyond the veil of heaven. A council was called, not an ordinary gathering, but one where eternity itself paused to listen. The golden gates shimmered brighter than ever before, and the sound of celestial trumpets filled the divine air. The subject of that heavenly meeting was you. Yes, you. High above the mortal world where time bends and light dances, the archangels gathered. Gabriel stood with his scroll of divine messages, Raphael with his healing aura, and in the very center, Michael, the defender of light. The warrior of heaven, the guardian of justice, the Creator spoke, and every wing bowed low. Heaven's light shifted, creating a golden circle that surrounded your name. He was written not in ink, but in flame, radiant, unshakable, eternal. Michael's sword gleamed as he stepped forward, his voice echoing through the heavens. This soul has endured the storm. This one must now rise. In that instant, a ripple of divine energy burst through the clouds. Every angelic being could feel it. Your name resonating through the realms. The decree was clear. Your season of struggle is coming to an end. What once was taken shall be restored. What once was broken shall be healed. The council then discussed your journey. Every sleepless night, every tear, every silent prayer. Heaven saw the moments when you felt unseen, unheard, forgotten. But the truth was, the skies were watching you all along. Michael raised his sword high and declared, from this day forth, protection surrounds them. Every dark force that dared to whisper against them shall now tremble. And as he spoke, the sword released a beam of light that shot through galaxies, a direct seal upon your destiny. A record keeper approached the throne, asking, "What shall be written in their book, Lord?" The answer was firm yet filled with love. Write that favor will follow them. Write that no hand formed against them shall prosper. Write that this soul's next chapter will be guided by divine strength. And so it was written. The heavenly meeting concluded with one final moment. The chorus of 1,000 angels lifting your name in song. Their voices weaving blessings into your timeline. And right now, as you hear this, a divine alignment is taking place in the unseen realm. You may not feel it yet, but the shift has already begun. Your angels have received their instructions. Your path is being cleared. Your waiting is not in vain. This is not coincidence. It's divine timing. The decree has already been sealed. Stay with me because what happens next will make your heart tremble with awe. Something huge is waiting for you, my beloved child. The moment the celestial council ended, silence fell over the heavens. A sacred silence filled not with emptiness but with anticipation. The golden halls shimmered as the archangels slowly descended from the throne room, each one carrying a part of the decree that was written for you. And at the center of it all stood Archangel Michael, his armor glowing with hues of sapphire and gold, his wings spanning white across eternity. In his hands he held the divine scroll. Your destiny freshly sealed with the breath of the Almighty. He walked through corridors of starlight, and every angel that crossed his path bowed their head, whispering your name with reverence. The sound of your name in the language of heaven echoed like music. A melody, woven into the fabric of creation itself. It wasn't just ink and parchment. It was a written vibration of your soul's calling. As Michael unrolled the scroll before the divine council's exit, symbols of light began to swirl in the air, ancient markings that only the heavenly could understand. Those symbols revealed every chapter of your life, from your very first breath to this exact moment. It showed the battles you fought when no one stood beside you. It showed the prayers you whispered through trembling lips. It showed the moments you almost gave up, yet somehow found the strength to rise again. The angels watched as the scenes of your life unfolded like a sacred movie across the sky. There were moments that made them weep, moments that made them jeer, and moments that made them bone off. You see, heaven doesn't look at your flaws. It looks at your endurance. Heaven doesn't count your failures. It counts your faith. Then something extraordinary happened. The light around Michael's sword intensified as if, responding to your story. The heavens trembled as the sword lifted itself from his grasp, floating above the scroll. A burst of white flame shot out, sealing the decree with a final divine signature. The words appeared in brilliant fire. This one has been chosen for restoration. At that very moment, a portal opened between realms. The decree was sent forth to earth. Carried by winds unseen, but felt deeply by those whose hearts are awake. That's why lately you've been sensing shifts around you, random coincidences, unexpected emotions, dreams that feel too real to ignore. Those aren't accidents, my beloved child. Those are signals. The decree that was made in heaven has begun to ripple through your reality. You may notice doors opening that were once locked. People who walked away may suddenly reappear, carrying the answers you once prayed for. And the situations that once drained you may now start turning in your favor. This is the evidence of divine orchestration. The physical reflection of the heavenly meeting that just occurred. And Michael, mighty as ever, has already begun his mission. His sword of light has been placed before you, not behind. He's not waiting for you to fall so he can catch you. He's walking ahead to clear the obstacles before they even appear. Every unseen danger, every whisper of doubt, every shadow that once threatened your peace, they are being dissolved in the radiance of his protection. The heavens have assigned specific angels to watch over you in this new season. One for guidance, one for peace, one for prevail ion, and one for courage. These four work in harmony, forming a circle of divine protection around your energy, your dreams, your home, and your purpose. And as the decree continues to unfold, new opportunities will begin aligning with the very frequency of your destiny. You'll know them when you see them because they'll feel right. They won't bring confusion. They'll bring clarity. They won't drain you. They'll fill you. And as you step into this new flow, the universe itself will seem to bend gently in your favor. Things will start to happen not because you're chasing them, but because they are being drawn to you. That's what divine favor looks like when heaven intervenes. Michael stood once more at the balcony of heaven, looking down upon earth. The starlight shimmered against his armor, and he whispered words that resonated like thunder wrapped in grace. Fear not. For what was once delayed is now released. His voice carried through the realms, reaching the hearts of those meant to help you. It moved through time, rearranging moments so that what once seemed impossible will suddenly align. And yet, the most powerful part of this decree isn't just about what you will receive. It's about who you'll become. This heavenly shift is awakening something ancient within you. The remembrance of your divine purpose. You were never meant to merely survive. You were destined to lead, to heal, to shine. The heavenly meeting didn't just decree blessings. It decreed transformation. Now, as you listen, the same light that filled that celestial chamber is surrounding you. You may even feel a subtle warmth, an invisible calm, or a sudden rush of emotion. That's not imagination. That's resonance. Heaven is closer than you think. But here's something you must do, my beloved child. Don't keep this revelation to yourself. Share this message with others who are weary, who have forgotten their divine worth, who believe heaven has forgotten them. Because when you share light, that light multiplies. When you comment with faith, it becomes a declaration. And when you subscribe to hope, you align with the very vibration of divine promise. So let your voice echo through the same heavens that just spoke your name. Be the messenger of your own miracle. And remember, the decree has only just begun to manifest. What's about to unfold next will not only surprise you, it will rewrite everything you once thought was lost. Don't skip, my beloved child. As the decree traveled, from heaven to earth, a great vibration passed through the spiritual realms. The air around your destiny shifted. Invisible currents that once resisted your path began to bow to divine authority. Archangel Michael stood on the border between light and matter. His sword blazing brighter than 1,000 suns. And with one swift movement, he drew a line in eternity, a divine separation between your past and your future. Everything that once tried to break you was left behind that line. Everything meant to build you was pulled forward. In the stillness of that sacred moment, heaven's light poured through the atmosphere, reaching the very fabric of your soul. The decree was no longer just written on scrolls of divine fire. It was being engraved upon your spirit. You may not remember the exact second it happened, but deep within something inside you awakened. That sudden urge to move forward. The quiet knowing that something bigger is guiding you. That is heaven whispering through your intuition. It is the echo of that meeting still, reverberating through your very being. Michael then summoned his legions. The sound of wings filled the skies, each one carrying assignments concerning your life. One angel carried healing for the wounds you've hidden. Another carried strength for the roads ahead. A third carried divine connections, people who will appear at just the right time to open doors you couldn't open yourself. And above them all, a radiant figure carried a crown woven from light, waiting for the moment you finally step into the fullness of your purpose. The heavenly realm is not silent anymore, my beloved child. It is moving, orchestrating, aligning, and constructing what you once thought was impossible. That sudden peace you've been feeling lately isn't coincidence. It's confirmation. Heaven is rearranging the very atmosphere around your name. Every dark plot, every delay, every betrayal, all of it is being rewritten in time. Michael's voice thundered through the clouds. No longer shall this one walk in shadows. Their time under burden has expired. Their name shall now carry light wherever they go. Those words became law in the spiritual realm. They rippled through time itself, touching past, present, and future. The pain that once chained you to old memories began to dissolve. The mistakes you thought defined you lost their power. Because when heaven decrees restoration, not even time can argue against it. At that instant, a vision formed above the celestial altar, a glimpse of your near future. The angels saw you standing tall, no longer in confusion or loss, but clothed in clarity and strength. You were smiling, not because everything was perfect, but because you finally understood that you were never alone through the storm. Even your darkest moments were chapters written by divine design to prepare you for the light you are now stepping into. Archangel Michael turned to the Creator and said, "They have carried the weight of pain, yet their faith has not shattered. They have walked through the fire, yet their essence still shines. Grant them a reward that no force can take away." And heaven agreed. The light intensified, and from the throne came a single command that shook the stars. Release the blessings now. In that very moment, the floodgates of divine abundance were open. Invisible rivers of grace began to flow toward your life. This is why lately everything may seem to be shifting, old things falling apart, new opportunities emerging out of nowhere. It's the divine reset. It's heaven clearing away what no longer fits your elevation. Don't resist it. Trust the movement. Even if it feels uncomfortable, it's the unseen hand of heaven moving mountains in your favor. Your angels are already positioned at every crossroad of your destiny. They are softening hearts, opening paths, and whispering your name into rooms of opportunity. What once required your struggle will now require only your presence. Because favor, true divine favor, doesn't demand effort. It responds to alignment. You will begin to notice divine coincidences multiplying. A right message will come to you at the perfect moment. A phone call, a sign, a dream. Each one will be heaven's coded message saying the decree is unfolding. The fear you once carried will begin to fade as confidence takes its place. You will realize that you were never forgotten. You were simply being prepared for the moment when heaven would call your name aloud. And Michael's energy, strong and unyielding, is now anchoring around you. His sword has struck the ground beside your destiny, forming a shield so strong that even unseen forces tremble to approach. The nights that once brought worry will now bring revelation. The tears that once symbolized defeat will now become seeds of strength. And as the days unfold, you will feel the quiet assurance that something far greater than coincidence is guiding your every step. The decree from heaven didn't only promise blessings. It promised restoration. What was lost will be found. What was stolen will return multiplied. The divine record has been updated and your name is marked with light. The angels call it the season of divine exchange. The pain you carried is now being exchanged for purpose. The emptiness is being replaced with divine fulfillment. And my beloved child, this message was meant to reach you at this exact hour. There are no accidents in divine timing. Heaven waits for the precise moment when your spirit is ready to receive truth. And now you are. The same light that filled the heavenly chamber when your decree was signed is now surrounding you as you hear these words. So, open your heart. Let it in. Allow the transformation to begin. And if your spirit feels this truth resonating deeply, don't hold it. Share it. Speak it aloud. Spread this message so others can awaken too. Because when you share light, heaven extends your reach. When you comment with faith, you declare your alignment with the divine decree. And when you subscribe to hope, you choose to live under the same blessing heaven just announced over your life. Now stay alert. The signs will come quickly, faster than you expect. The next 24 hours could reveal the first glimpse of what heaven has been preparing for years. Something extraordinary is aligning in your favor. Stay till the end, my beloved child. As the decree continued to move through unseen realms, the energy around your life began to shift in ways beyond your comprehension. Every vibration of that heavenly meeting echoed through the layers of your reality, touching places within you that had long been locked away. The angels moved through corridors of time, unraveling the cords that once held you captive to pain, doubt, and delay. And in the center of all that movement stood Archangel Michael. Radiant, unshakable, and aflame with purpose. His eyes pierced the distance between heaven and earth, searching for the precise moment when you would finally realize that your freedom had already been declared. The battle for your destiny had never been fought in silence. There were moments when you felt your spirit growing heavy, when confusion clouded your judgment, and when disappointment whispered that maybe you were forgotten. But those were the very moments heaven was waging war for you. Michael's sword did not only defend. It destroyed the invisible barriers that once resisted your blessings. Every delay, every rejection, every betrayal, it all shattered the instant heaven decreed enough. From that point onward, something remarkable began to happen. The memories that once brought pain started losing their sting. The people who drained your spirit began to fade from your path. Situations that once trapped you in cycles of despair suddenly lost their power over your peace. It wasn't luck. It was divine release. The spiritual locks that held your potential captive were breaking open one after another under the authority of heaven's command. Michael turned to the angelic legions and declared, "Every chain attached to this soul's past must now fall." His voice echoed through realms unseen. And, suddenly across time itself, 1,000 spiritual locks clicked open. Burdens began to lift. The weight of old wounds loosened its grip. And where darkness once surrounded your path, a radiant glow began to appear. Faint at first, but growing brighter with each heartbeat. That light was not from outside of you. It was the reawakening of the divine essence within you. And now the heavens sing a different song about you. You are not viewed as the one who barely made it, but as the one who endured, who survived his storms that would have destroyed others and who continued to walk forward with faith even when nothing made sense. That is why the decree was so powerful. Heaven doesn't reward perfection. It rewards persistence. But listen closely, my beloved child. Freedom is not just an emotional release. It's a spiritual awakening. When heaven breaks your chains, it also redeems your identity. You are no longer who you were before the decree was made. You are being reborn into the version of yourself heaven always intended. The one, not limited by fear or the expectations of others, but guided by divine authority. Michael's light descended upon the earth, and every place where your name had been spoken in negativity was illuminated by grace. Words once spoken against you were rewritten in favor. Doors once slammed shut in your face began to unlock one by one because heaven had already signed your access. The blessings that once seemed delayed are now rushing toward you as if eager to make up for lost time. You might begin to feel moments of unexplained peace or waves of emotion that come out of nowhere. That's not your imagination. It's the residue of divine intervention. Heaven is clearing your inner atmosphere, washing away the energies of fear, shame, and regret. You're stepping into a higher vibration where your soul aligns with truth instead of trauma. But remember this, when new light enters your life, old shadows will try to cling. Not to destroy you, but to test whether you truly believe you are free. Do not be afraid when challenges appear, suddenly. They are not punishments. They are confirmations. Every test that comes after a divine decree is proof that something greater is about to unfold. So when the winds blow again, don't tremble. Stand firm because heaven has already fought this battle for you. Michael stood over your path, his wings expanding across your future. He spoke softly, not in thunder this time, but in a tone only your spirit could hear. Rise. The time of delay is finished. The time of walking small has ended. Take your place. And in that moment, a crown of light formed above you. Invisible to mortal eyes, but known in the spiritual realm. This signified authority, divine favor, and the unlocking of your purpose. Every angel assigned to your journey began to move in synchronization. The angel of provision prepared opportunities that align perfectly with your calling. The angel of healing restored broken connections and weary hearts. The angel of courage whispered truth into your doubts, reminding you that your strength was never lost, only hidden beneath the weight of fear. And above them all, Michael guarded your timeline, ensuring that what heaven has written, no power can erase. And now as you hear these words, that same energy is surrounding you. The divine decree has entered its manifestation phase. Things are beginning to align in ways you never imagined. People will cross your path carrying blessings you didn't ask for. Conversations will open doors that logic can't explain. The flow of divine favor is now unstoppable, but heaven doesn't just move for one. It moves through one. If these words touch your heart, if you feel the stirring of truth within, then share this message. Someone else needs to hear it too. When you share, you are not spreading mere words. You are extending the reach of the decree. When you comment in faith, you are declaring your agreement with what heaven has spoken. When you subscribe to light, you invite more of it into your life. The heavens are still rejoicing. Your name still echoes in their songs, and the best part, my beloved child, is that this is only the beginning. But heaven has started will not stop until every promise had been fulfilled. Something huge is waiting for you, my beloved child. As the final echoes of broken chains faded into the distance, A silence descended upon the heavens. Not an empty silence, but one filled with awe. Like the world holding its breath before dawn. In that sacred stillness, the new chapter of your destiny began to unfold. The decree had not only freed you, it had activated something ancient within you. A divine blueprint that had been sleeping since the day your soul entered this world. You are not merely walking into a new season. You are awakening to your original design, the one heaven drafted long before you took your first breath. Archangel Michael stood before the celestial river, his reflection shimmering on its surface like liquid light. The scroll bearing your name hovered above the water, and with a single gesture he released it. The moment the scroll touched the river, the words inscribed upon it began to ripple outward, sending waves of destiny across time and space. Every ripple carried a fragment of your future, divine meetings, miraculous provisions, and moments of revelation that will soon manifest in your life. It was heaven's way of ensuring that every detail of your destiny aligns perfectly with divine order. Far below on the earthly plane, your spirit began to sense that something monumental was shifting. You might have felt a restlessness lately. A strange mix of peace and anticipation, like your heart knows something your mind can't yet explain. That is not confusion, my beloved child. It is divine preparation. Heaven never moves without first awakening your awareness. The discomfort you felt is not a warning. It's a sign that your spirit is expanding to receive what's been decreed. Michael turned to his host of angels, their wings spread wide like fields of light stretching to the horizon. The time has come, he declared, his voice resonating through galaxies. The decree must now take form. And with that command, the angels descended, not in chaos, but in perfect harmony. Each carried a spark of divine assignment. Some moved toward people who will soon cross your path. Those destined to help unlock your next steps. Others touched places that would become significant for your breakthrough. Locations that will soon hold divine meaning in your journey. And a few descended directly toward you, ready to deliver strength, clarity, and renewal. Every prayer you ever whispered, every tear that fell in silence, had already built the path they now travel. Nothing was wasted. Every disappointment you endured became a seed of transformation. And now those seeds are beginning to bloom. Heaven saw how long you waited, how hard you fought, and how deeply you believed even when there was no visible proof. Yet, faith has called forth this moment. A divine awakening orchestrated entirely for you. And as the energy of the decree continued to pulse through creation, the heavens revealed a hidden truth. Your struggles were never punishment. They were preparation. Every delay was designed to teach discernment. Every closed door was heaven's way of steering you toward something greater. You were not being forgotten. You were being refined. The fires you endured did not destroy you because they were never meant to. They were meant to purify you. What was forged in you through pain has now become your power. Michael looked upon your journey and smiled. His gaze filled with both pride and purpose. They do not yet know who they truly are, he said softly. But they soon will. The light they carry will awaken others who have forgotten their own divine identity. And with that, he lifted his sword once more. striking it against the river of light. Sparks shot upward, forming an image that shimmered across the heavens. Your spirit standing radiant, surrounded by countless souls drawn toward your awakening. You were not chosen for yourself alone. You were chosen to be a beacon, a reflection of heaven's endurance in human form. And now, in this very moment, the effects of that strike are beginning to reach you. You may notice your intuition sharpening, your dreams becoming more vivid, or your emotions feeling more intense. This is not its stability, it's awakening. The spiritual senses that were once dormant are being activated. You are beginning to see through the eyes of your soul rather than the lens of fear. A shift is what aligns you with the decree. The more you trust it, the more effortlessly life begins to move in your favor. But with every awakening comes responsibility. Heaven gives light not just for comfort but for purpose. You are being called to step boldly into your role as a vessel of transformation. To speak words that heal. To act in love even when others do not understand. To walk with faith even when the path is unclear. That is how you honor the decree made in your name. Every choice rooted in light strengthens the bridge between heaven's intention and earth reality. As you continue to move forward, the world around you may not immediately understand the change they see in you. Some may drift away, not out of rejection, but because your new frequency no longer matches theirs. Do not grieve their departure. It is simply divine realignment. When heaven elevates one, it often rearranges many. Trust that every separation, every new connection, and every sudden twist in your journey is being guided by the same hands that wrote your name in the heavenly scroll. And my beloved child, remember, when heaven decrees a transformation, it does not do so quietly. Miracles will begin to whisper through your days. Opportunities will appear where logic says there should be none. The energy of grace will follow you like sunlight that refuses to fade. Every step you take now carries divine weight because you are walking under an open heaven. If this message stirs your heart, share it. Do not let this revelation end with you. Speak it. Write it spreading. Someone out there is standing at the edge of their own awakening, waiting for a spark. And your voice could be that spark. When you share, you echo the decree. When you comment with faith, you affirm your place in it. And when you subscribe to divine light, you open yourself to more of it. So walk with your head lifted high, not in pride, but in knowing. You are not ordinary. You are evidence that heaven still moves, still speaks, still redeems. And though this chapter has only begun to unfold, what comes next will defy everything you once thought was possible. Don't skip, my beloved child. As the decree of heaven continued to flow through every layer of existence, the realm of angels grew brighter than ever before. The energy around your destiny had reached its peak frequency, vibrating through the cosmos like a living song. The heavens were no longer watching silently. They were actively participating in the unfolding of your divine timeline. Each event, each coincidence, each stirring within your heart. All of it was part of a greater movement that had already been set in motion the moment your name was spoken in that sacred meeting above the clouds. In the vast expanse of heaven's light, Archangel Michael stood at the center of a magnificent gathering. Around him, countless angels form a circle of radiance, each holding a beam of light that represented a piece of your journey. Some beams glowed golden, symbolizing the blessings that are now being released into your life. Others shimmered silver, representing the wisdom gained through your trials. But there were also beams of deep sapphire. Those held the power of protection, the assurance that no shadow can overtake what heaven has already sealed in light. The great assembly was not one of celebration alone, but of preparation. Heaven was preparing for your next elevation. Michael raised his sword high, and as he did, a roar of wind swept across the heavens. The light beams began to merge, swirling together into a spiral that descended toward the earth like a storm of illumination. Every rotation carried divine instructions, coded messages of purpose, strength, and breakthrough. Those vibrations are now reaching you gently but unmistakably, stirring your spirit into action. You've likely noticed it. The sudden urge to start something new, to take bold steps, to leave behind the fears that once controlled you. That's not random motivation. That's divine propulsion. Heaven is nudging you forward, telling you that the waiting season is over. What was delayed is now activated. What was hidden is being revealed. The decree has entered the realm of manifestation, and its evidence will soon appear in your reality. Archangel Michael's voice echoed again through creation, filled with fierce compassion. Prepare the way before them. Let every stumbling block be turned into a stepping stone. Let every shadow be replaced with revelation. The heavens obeyed instantly. Energies began to shift around your name. Old cycles closed, new paths opened. Even as you hear this, unseen alignments are taking place, hearts are softening, opportunities are forming, and divine timing is recalibrating everything around you. And yet, amidst all this movement, there is a quiet message heaven wants you to hear. You are safe. So many times you doubted your worth, feared losing what you love, or questioned if your dreams were too big to ever come true. But heaven never viewed your prayers as impossible. They viewed them as instructions waiting for the right moment to activate. That moment, my beloved child, is now. The decree has shifted from promise to performance. The words once written in divine flame are now taking shape in your reality. As the energy of heaven continues to pour through your life, you will notice new patterns emerging. Unexpected help will arrive at the very moment you need it. Ideas will flow effortlessly. Even in silence, you will sense divine companionship. It's because Michael has assigned specific angels to remain by your side through this stage of transformation. They will whisper reminders of your strength when doubt tries to return. They will guide your steps when logic seems unclear. You are surrounded not by uncertainty but by purpose. And while heaven moves around you, it also moves through you. You are not just the receiver of this decree. You are its living vessel. Your story, your scars, your perseverance, they are all threads in a divine tapestry meant to inspire others. What you overcome becomes a map for someone else's freedom. Every time you share your testimony, every time you encourage someone who's struggling, you expand heaven's reach, you become part of the very movement the archangels initiated in your name. So don't keep silent. Share this light. Speak words that heal. Comment in faith because every word of belief strengthens your alignment with the decree. When you share what heaven has done, you invite heaven to do even more. And when you subscribe to hope, you affirm your place in the rhythm of divine grace. This message didn't find you by chance. It found you because heaven has chosen you to carry light into dark places. Michael's gaze once again turned toward the earth. He saw not just you, but the ripple effect of your awakening. How your courage will ignite others. How your forgiveness will heal generations. How your resilience will become a symbol of what divine favor looks like when it takes human form. He spoke softly. They will rise, and when they do, many will rise with them. The heavens responded with a hum of energy so powerful it crossed galaxies. Stars flickered brighter, winds shifted direction and across the spiritual realm. Your name glowed like a beacon. You are no longer waiting for miracles. You are walking in the middle of one. And though you may not see all the details yet, trust this truth. Heaven has already arranged the outcome. Soon you'll look back at everything you thought was loss and realize it was divine setup. Every delay was timing. Every ending was redirection. Every closed door was protection. The path you're walking now isn't new. It's the same destiny that heaven designed long ago. Now fully awakened by divine decree. My beloved child, heaven smiles upon you tonight. The archangels stand guard over your dreams. Every step you take from this point forward is guided by the light of that heavenly meeting. The one where Archangel Michael stood for you. Where the Creator himself spoke your name with love. The same power that moved mountains in that moment is now moving through your reality, lining every detail in your favor. So lift your head, walk in your new energy, expect the miraculous, and when it happens, for it surely will, speak it, share it, and let others know that heaven still moves for those who believe. Share this message, comment with faith, and subscribe to the light because what's about to unfold in your life is too divine to keep hidden. Stay till the end. My beloved child, as the light from that celestial gathering continued to flow across creation, something sacred began to occur on earth. The spiritual and the physical started to align, like two mirrors finally facing each other, reflecting the same divine truth. It was the moment heaven had been waiting for. The hour when what was spoken above would begin to unfold below. The decree that once seeded through the heavenly halls was now pulsing through the rhythm of your heartbeat. Every breath you take is now synchronized with divine intention. Archangel Michael stood at the edge of the great expanse where the golden horizon of heaven touched the veil of the earthly realm. His wings shimmered with the fire of purpose, and in his eyes burned the reflection of everything that was about to happen. Around him stood a council of angels, radiant, powerful, and watchful, each ready to ensure that the divine decree unfolds exactly as heaven commanded. The Creator's words still lingered in the air, filled with eternal promise. What has been decreed shall now be made visible. And so it began. The first wave of divine energy swept through your timeline like a cleansing wind. It touched your past, writing memories of failure into lessons of strength. It touched your present, surrounding you with unseen favor that began to rearrange circumstances in your favor. And it reached forward into your future, preparing moments of destiny that will soon intersect with your path. You are walking inside a living prophecy, one written by heaven's own hand. Michael watched as the light began to flow through the network of human lives, the people you know, the ones you have yet to meet. And even those who once walked away, heaven began to position every person according to the new script of your story. Those meant to return are being guided back. Those meant to depart are being gently removed. This is not chaos. It is alignment. The Creator never removes without replacing, never closes without preparing something better. Every shift in your life right now, no matter how unexpected, is a sign that the decree is active. And though the process may sometimes feel unsettling, know this, my beloved child. Nothing is falling apart. Everything is falling into place. The same energy that holds the stars in orbit is now holding your life in divine order. Every unanswered prayer, every moment of silence, every delay you once questioned. All of it was heaven waiting for this precise alignment. You were never being ignored. You were being prepared. Michael's voice resonated again. Not with thunder, but with authority that transcends worlds. Their time of wandering ends here. Let the paths of promise now open before them. And instantly, pathways of light stretched across the horizon of your destiny. Each path represented a new opportunity, a breakthrough, a divine encounter. Some of these paths you will recognize immediately. Others will appear disguised as challenges. But look closer, for behind every difficulty hides a door that only your courage can open. My beloved child, as the divine alignment reached its fullest expression, a subtle but profound shift began to occur in the realms unseen. The veil that once separated the heavenly from the earthly started to thin, allowing light to pour through in waves that touched everything bearing your name. What was once distant now feels close. What was once invisible now breathed within reach. The decree that began in the throne room of heaven is now echoing in your atmosphere, shaping every moment you are about to live. Archangel Michael stood upon a high ridge of golden light, looking down through layers of existence, watching your world glow with threads of destiny. The brilliance surrounding him was so vast that even the stars seemed to bow before its radiance, and as his gaze fell upon you, there was pride, tenderness, and a fierce promise in his eyes. The promise that what heaven had begun would not fade halfway. This is not a temporary blessing, my beloved child. This is a permanent rewriting of your story. You see, heaven never intended for you to merely survive life. You were created to embody divine truth, to be a vessel through which heaven itself could be seen and felt. That is why your journey has carried both pain and purpose. Each harrop was a chisel shaping your strength. Each loss was space being cleared for abundance. And now that the decree has reached your realm, heaven is calling you to live not as someone who hopes for miracles, but as someone who hosts them. You are the meeting point where the divine and the human embrace. The earth has begun to respond to your awakening. Notice how the air feels different lately. Lighter, charge, live. And notice how certain places suddenly feel magnetic, as if something sacred lingers there. That is the veil lifting. You are perceiving what has always been around you, but hidden from ordinary sight. The angels have drawn closer. They whisper through intuition, through signs, through coincidences, too perfect to be random. Every number sequence, every repeated symbol, every familiar warmth you feel in moments of stillness. These are gentle affirmations that heaven is closer now than ever before. Michael extended his hand, and from it flowed streams of light that carried fragments of your destiny into motion. The light moved like living rivers, through time, touching people you have yet to meet, opportunities that have yet to unfold, and even moments years ahead that will one day feel like destiny's perfect design. The angels who once observed are now participating, guiding, building, and weaving your next chapters with precision only heaven can orchestrate. But the greatest miracle, my beloved child, is happening within you. As the veil thins, your spirit is remembering its origin. You are not simply someone walking through a world of uncertainty, you are a soul who once danced in the light of creation itself. That's why this season feels so powerful. It's not just about external blessings. It's about remembering who you truly are. You were never disconnected from the divine. You were only asleep to it. The decree has not just changed your fate. It has awakened your identity. In the heavenly expanse, a new assembly formed, not of angels this time, but of souls whose lives will soon intertwine with yours. Some will come to learn from you, some to walk beside you, and others to lift you higher. These are divine appointments written into your script by the decree itself. When they arrive, you will recognize them not by appearance, but by the sense of peace that accompanies them. Heaven never sends confusion, only confirmation. Michael turned to the Creator, his sword reflecting the light of 1,000 suns. "It is done," he declared, his voice filled with quiet triumph. "The decree is a light upon the earth." And heaven answered, "Then let the miracles unfold." At that moment, an outpouring of grace began to rain across existence, not in thunder or lightning, but as waves of warmth that reached hearts ready to receive. You are standing beneath that rain even now. Every breath you take draws more of that energy into your life. The more you believe, the stronger it flows. And though you may still face moments of uncertainty, know this truth. The decree does not fail. It does not bend under doubt or break under delay. Heaven's word is eternal. Even when your eyes see nothing, your spirit is standing in the midst of fulfillment. The silence you sometimes feel is not absence. It is divine strategy. Heaven works quietly when preparing something that will echo loudly. Remember this always. The veil is not disappearing to make you special. It is lifting so you can help others see that heaven has always been here. Every act of kindness, every moment of forgiveness, every choice made in love becomes a bridge between heaven and earth. You are no longer just the subject of a divine decree. You are now its messenger. And as you rest tonight, know that angels are still surrounding you. Michael stands watch, his sword glowing softly with protective light. The heavens remain open above your name, and the decree continues to expand, gathering blessings from corners of creation you haven't yet imagined. You are no longer waiting for heaven to move. Heaven is waiting for you to walk fully in your truth. Share this like, my beloved child. Speak it boldly. Let the world feel what you now know that heaven has spoken and its word has become flesh within your very life. Stay till the end. My beloved child, the moment has come when the story that began in the highest courts of heaven reaches its destined completion. The decree that once shimmered in divine flame now rests fully within your reality. The light that once hovered above you has entered your being. You have become the living evidence of heaven's promise. The fulfillment of a decision made in eternity. The circle is complete. The prophecy fulfilled. And now heaven watches with a quiet joy as you take your first steps into the life that was written long before your first breath. Archangel Michael stands once again before the throne. His armor gleaming with celestial fire. The same scroll that bore your name now rests open upon the altar of light. But it no longer burns with anticipation. It glows with completion. Every word of the decree has been fulfilled in heaven's time. And the final seal is about to be placed. The chorus of angels gathers around their wings, creating a storm of radiance. Their eyes filled with awe as the Creator himself speaks once more. It is done. What was promised hath been delivered. What was delayed hath been released. And with those words, a pulse of divine energy moves through all creation. Galaxies shift, stars brighten, and time itself bends in reverence to the will of the Eternal. The heavens sing your name one last time, not in plea, but in celebration. You, my beloved child, have crossed from promise into manifestation. The pain that once defined you has become your wisdom. The tears that once fell from sorrow have become sacred water that nourished your becoming. Every wound, every waiting, every whisper of doubt. All of it now shines as proof that even when you could not see, heaven was working. Michael steps forward. His voice calm yet filled with thunderous certainty. Your story shall now serve as light to others. Let the blessings flow through them and not just to them. And so heaven releases one more gift. The power of overflow. From this point forward, the blessings written in your decree are not limited to your life alone. They will touch the lives of those around you. The ones who cross your path by chance. The ones who simply hear your story and feel their own faith reignite. You are not just blessed. You are now a conduit of blessing. As the final seal is pressed upon the scroll, Michael lowers his sword for the first time. It no longer burns with battle. It glows with peace. The war for your destiny is over. The forces that once opposed your path have lost their claim. The darkness that tried to confuse you has been dismantled. The voices that whispered doubt have gone silent. For heaven's decree is louder than every lie. You are safe now, not because the world changed, but because you have. You are clothed in divine authority, shielded by eternal light, and guided by wisdom born from fire. The angels begin to sing, their voices weaving into a melody that carries through the universe. A song not of endings, but of beginnings. You have stepped into the chapter that no one can erase. This is where your purpose flourishes. This is where your prayers become power. This is where your ordinary moments become divine appointments. The heavens rejoice not just because the decree was fulfilled, but because you chose to believe it, to endure for it, to become it. And now, as the last echo of that heavenly song fades into stillness, something incredible begins to happen on earth. The world around you starts to mirror what has already been completed in spirit. The people meant to walk with you begin to appear. The opportunities written in your favor unfold without struggle. The peace that once felt distant now rests upon your shoulders like a gentle cloak. You will move through the days ahead with grace. No longer chasing, no longer fearing, simply flowing in rhythm with divine order. Michael watches from the heavenly horizon. His expression serene yet proud. He whispers softly, "It is your turn now. Go and live as proof that heaven remembers its children." His wings lift, spreading across eternity, and a final gust of light moves toward you. A seal of completion, a benediction of strength. When that light touches your heart, you will feel it. A deep peace that words cannot describe. A knowing that no matter what comes next, you are protected, provided for, and profoundly loved. The decree is not just written in heaven anymore. It is written within your soul. Every beat of your heart carries its rhythm. Every step you take echoes its power. Every breath you draw pulls divine life deeper into your being. You are not walking beneath favor. You are walking as favor. From this day forward, wherever you go, heaven will go with you. Doors will open because light precedes you. Obstacles will fall because truth surrounds you. Miracles will follow because you have become a vessel through which heaven moves. And yet the Creator smiles. For even though this decree is fulfilled, the journey of creation never ends. Each day ahead will carry new revelations, new blessings, new opportunities for you to shine your light. The world needs the glow you now carry. The people around you need to see what divine restoration looks like in living form. You are the answer to prayers others have not yet spoken. You are the miracle someone else is waiting to witness. So rise, walk with grace, with certainty, with Guido. Let your voice carry peace into chaos. Let your actions reflect heaven's compassion. Let your presence remind others that light always wins. The decree made in your favor will never fade. It will continue to expand, blessing generations yet to come. You are the fulfillment of promise and the beginning of new possibilities. Heaven has concluded its meeting. The angels have sealed their decision. And Michael has returned to his eternal post, but his eyes still follow you. His protection still surrounds you, and his strength still flows through you. Whenever you feel alone, remember you are the reason heaven gathered. You are the decree embodied. You are the living proof that divine intention never fails. And so the final words are spoken not as command but as blessing. Go forth, beloved, and live the life heaven has already crowned. The meeting has ended, but your story, your divine story, has only just begun.